Today, we embark on an exciting journey to ancient Rome, one of the greatest and most influential cities in human history. Imagine the majestic temples, bustling markets, baths, amphitheatres, and streets filled with a variety of faces, sounds, and aromas. At the heart of this lively metropolis, life thrives, continuing to captivate with its richness and cultural heritage. Ancient Rome, with its magnificent architecture and advanced engineering, was not only a center of political and military power, but also of cultural and social life. Rome was also known for its liberal morals and liberated sexual atmosphere. In this society, there were no prohibitions, and consequently, prostitution flourished. Women of easy virtue were everywhere and available at any time. For Romans, finding such a woman was never a question. She could be found in the theater, the temple, or near the walls of the Colosseum. Brothels, Lupanars in ancient Rome, were an important part of urban life. The word lupanar comes from the Latin lupa, meaning she-wolf, a term used in Rome to refer to prostitutes. Lupanars were legal and socially recognized establishments that provided sexual services to men of all social classes. The first lupanars began appearing in Rome during the early Republic period, but they became especially popular and widespread during the Empire, from the 1st century BC to the 4th century AD. Brothels were built like ordinary houses with many small rooms, each intended for encounters between courtesans and clients. Various people could be involved in the construction of lupanars, from wealthy entrepreneurs to ordinary citizens looking to profit from providing such services. Often, lupanars were located in busy areas of the city, near markets, baths, and other public places to attract more clients. Lupanars were managed by Lenones brothel keepers, who controlled all activities within the establishment. The Leno could be either a man or a woman. They were responsible for hiring and managing courtesans, attracting clients, and handling financial matters. Lenones ensured the security of the establishment, maintained order, and sometimes even offered additional services such as food and drinks for clients. Lupanars were legally recognized establishments, and owners often paid taxes to the state. In some cases, lupanars even received official licenses for their activities. Courtesans and Lenones worked to maintain the reputation of their establishments to attract regular and new clients. Women working in lupanars came from various social backgrounds and became courtesans for different reasons. Most courtesans in lupanars were slaves. They were bought at slave markets and forced to work in brothels. Slaves often came from conquered territories or from poor families that sold their children into slavery due to poverty. Some women voluntarily became courtesans to earn a living. They might choose this profession for various reasons, including poverty, lack of other earning opportunities, or a desire for independence. Some slaves were free after several years of work and continued working in lupanars as free women, receiving a share of their earnings. Some women ended up in lupanars due to their family's debts, working to pay off the debts and gain their freedom. The start of the day, rising and preparation. When the first rays of the sun began to pierce through the narrow windows of the lupanar, the courtesans were already waking up. Among them was Libya, a young woman who found herself in this place against her will. Life in the lupanar began after her family fell into debt, and she was sold into slavery. Life in the lupanar was far from comfortable, but Livia tried to find joy and solace in her daily rituals. Her room was cramped, with several women sleeping in it, each on her sheet and straw mat. Sleep was short and restless, so waking up was always accompanied by a sense of fatigue. However, despite this, Livia and her roommates quickly got up and began their morning routines. In the room where they lived, there was a small wash basin. Livia went to it to wash with cold water, which helped wash away the traces of the night's work and refresh herself. Many of the girls used oils and perfumes to mask unpleasant odors and give their bodies a pleasant scent. Livia used lavender and jasmine oils, which were also used for massage and skincare. Cosmetics played an important role in her life. Rouge made from red ochre and white lead for the face were necessary to give her face freshness and attractiveness. She colored her lips and cheeks with carmine and lined her eyes with soot or kohl. Hairstyles also took a significant amount of time. Livia braided her long dark hair into intricate braids, decorated with ribbons and hairpins. In the communal living conditions, these morning routines took place in a tight atmosphere, where each courtesan was busy with her tasks to look her best. After the morning toilette, Livia and her roommates gathered in the common area for breakfast. Breakfast was simple and nutritious, bread, olives, cheese, sometimes fruits, and diluted wine. In ancient Rome, wine was always diluted with water as pure wine was considered barbaric. Breakfast was an important moment for restoring energy and preparing for a long day. The food in the Lupanar was far from luxurious. Often, food had to be rationed, and Livia ate modest portions. The girls suffered from a lack of nutrients, affecting their health and appearance. Despite this, breakfast was a time for socializing and exchanging news. The women shared their impressions of the previous night, discussed clients, and planned for the coming day. Each day for Livia was filled with various encounters with clients who came to the Lupanar for different reasons. Her work revolved around adapting to the desires and expectations of each client, which she did masterfully, using her charm, communication skills, and understanding of human nature. Livia's regular client, Publius, a wealthy merchant, visited her several times a week, valuing not only her beauty, but also her ability to listen and engage in conversation. Publius confided in Livia about his affairs and shared his worries. He enjoyed this atmosphere of trust and comfort, for which he left generous tips. During the day, the Lupanar welcomed a diverse clientele. Among them were soldiers returning from long campaigns, merchants who had spent the day at the market, and even young patricians seeking adventure. Each encounter required Livia's flexibility and ability to adapt to the mood and needs of the client. Soldiers, for example, often sought not only physical intimacy, but also comfort. Livia knew how to create a sense of safety and peace for these men, weary from war and hardships. She listened to their stories of battles, shared her thoughts, and helped them forget their troubles, even if only for a while. Merchants, on the other hand, were more businesslike and often came to the Lupanar to relax after a hectic day of trading. They appreciated Livia's wit and her ability to maintain light, effortless conversation. Sometimes, she played the lute or sang songs to entertain them and create a festive atmosphere. The Lupanar came alive with the onset of darkness. Evening was when the most clients arrived. Lamps were lit in the rooms, creating a soft, dim light. This ambience fostered an atmosphere of intimacy and mystery, attracting clients. Livia prepared for her night's work, enhancing her appearance even more. Working with clients required not only physical strength but also emotional resilience. Livia knew how to create a welcoming and trusting atmosphere, attracting many clients. She was a keen listener, and clients often confided their stories and problems to her, seeking comfort and peace. Some preferred just to talk, and Livia skillfully maintained the conversation, creating a sense of closeness and trust. However, the Lupanar also saw difficult clients. These were the ones who visited the establishment in a state of heavy intoxication or aggression. Livia had learned to deal with such people, striving to calm them and prevent potential conflicts. Her ability to stay calm and act wisely in such situations saved her and the other courtesans from many troubles. As the deep night fell and the last clients left the Lupanar, Livia finally allowed herself some rest. The establishment gradually sank into silence, occasionally interrupted by the guards' footsteps and muted conversations. Livia closed the door to her room, creating a small island of peace and privacy in this chaos. She knew this time was solely for her and tried to make the most of it. The first thing Livia did was take a bath to wash away the fatigue and tension of the past day. Aromatic oils and herbal infusions not only cleansed her skin, but also helped her relax. The warm water soothed her muscles and mind, allowing Livia to forget the harsh reality for a few moments. This ritual was an important part of her nightly routine, helping her regain strength and prepare for the next day. After the bath, it was time to care for her hair and skin. Livia used natural oils and ointments to maintain her youth and beauty, as these were crucial in her work. Livia knew that her appearance was her capital, so she paid special attention to it. The familiar motions of self-care also helped her relax and find inner peace. After the physical procedures, it was time for spiritual cleansing. Livia sat on soft cushions, closed her eyes, and immersed herself in meditation. At these moments, she let go of all worries and tension, focusing on her breathing. Meditation helped Livia restore inner harmony and prepare for sleep. Completing her meditation, Livia turned to the gods. A special place in her prayers was occupied by Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, whom she asked for protection. Livia prayed for her unfortunate sisters and for her future. These prayers were a source of hope and comfort, helping her cope with difficulties. When all the rituals were complete, Livia finally allowed herself to fall asleep. Her sleep was brief, but she used every minute to regain her strength. Livia knew that the next day would bring new challenges and hardships, and she needed to be ready for them. Sleep brought only temporary relief from reality, allowing her to forget all worries and anxieties. In her dreams, Livia transported herself to a world of her dreams, where everything was possible and where she was free. This short rest helped her maintain her mental balance and find the strength to continue fighting for a better future. Livia's life in the Lupanar was full of contradictions. It was a world where beauty and art intertwined with cruelty and suffering. The Lupanar was a place where opulent decorations and delicate fragrances mixed with the harsh realities of daily life. Livia had to exist on the edge of two worlds, striving not to drown in waves of despair and finding solace in brief moments of joy. Each day in the Lupanar was a new challenge. Livia understood that her work was not only the art of seduction, but also a struggle for survival. She had to adapt to clients' demands, finding an approach to each one to keep her place and ensure her safety. The Lupanar was a place where behind the outward shine, cruelty and suffering were hidden. Many girls, like Livia, found themselves in this place against their will, becoming victims of slavery or poverty. Their stories were full of tragedies and pain, and Livia often found comfort in communicating with them, sharing her dreams and hopes for the future. These moments of friendship and support helped the women maintain faith in a better life. Lupanars were an integral part of Roman society. These establishments, representing houses of tolerance, existed legally and brought significant income to their owners. Lupanars were located in various parts of the city, from prestigious areas to poor quarters. Many Lupanar owners were wealthy citizens who used their establishments as a stable and high-income source, ensuring themselves prestige and well-being. However, despite official recognition, the attitude towards courtesans was dual and complex. On one hand, their services were in demand among men of all classes, from wealthy patricians and influential senators to simple traders and soldiers. Courtesans often participated in lavish feasts and received guests in luxurious interiors, where music played and wine flowed. They knew how to create an atmosphere of pleasure and relaxation, and many men sought not only physical closeness, but also emotional comfort in their company. On the other hand, courtesans faced disdain and condemnation from society. They were considered women of low origin, and their profession left an indelible mark on them. In the Roman social hierarchy, they occupied one of the lowest positions, and despite their demand, remained objects of constant ridicule and humiliation. Society treated them with contempt, and they could not hope for the respect or recognition available to women from other layers of society. The life of courtesans was full of hardships and deprivations. Many ended up in Lupanars against their will, sold into slavery or forced into prostitution due to extreme poverty. Their lives were fraught with constant risks: physical violence from clients, diseases, and a general lack of legal protection. Despite this, they played a significant role in Roman society, and their existence was closely tied to Roman traditions and culture. Courtesans possessed not only physical attractiveness, but also the ability to engage in intellectual conversations and knowledge of art and music. Many of them were educated in reading, writing, and even rhetoric to satisfy their clients' needs for intellectual interaction. Their influence extended far beyond the Lupanar, and they often became muses for poets and artists, inspiring the creation of works of art. The existence of courtesans reflects the complex and multifaceted aspects of Roman culture. They symbolize the contradictions between public condemnation and private veneration, between official norms and personal needs. Their life and work were an integral part of urban life, and despite their low social position, they influenced many spheres of Roman society. In their images, beauty and vulnerability, strength and helplessness combined, making them some of the most enigmatic and contradictory figures of their time.